my god, the birds start chirping here at 3:30 in the morning, but I want to model a big gulp, so let's do that instead of going to bed. I am currently with cycles, and I'm going to add a modifier onto my cube. Let's go with the subdivide and turn that up to 3. I might change that here. I would hit tab to go into the edit mode after selecting the cube. Now I'm going to hit 3 on the keyboard to select faces. I'm going to select the top face and hit I. And let's go just a tiny bit in. Then I'm going to hit E to extrude and hit, well, it's already on the Z axis, so I don't have to hit anything. Now that we're here, I'm going to go right about to here. And then I'm going to hit extrude again on the Z, and now you can see it's automatically taken the shape that I kind of want. Hit tab, and now you kind of have the shape of a big gulp. Now I want to select inside of this big gulp now by hitting, oh, that's not going to do what I want. That's okay. I'm going to hit hold shift and select all of these faces, and then I'm going to hit control D to duplicate them, or shift D, shift D to duplicate them. That's what I want to do. Now that I have them floating around, I'm going to hit right click to deselect them and hit P and separate by selection. That's what I want. I want to separate the exact same thing I was just selecting. I'm going to hit tab to get out of my cup and hit tab to get into this ring. Now that we're editing that, I'm going to go 2 on the keyboard and hit Alt, hold Alt and click on this inner line right here, and I'm going to hit F to fill it up. Now that that's full, I'm going to hit F on the outside and hit E to extrude on the Z axis by hitting Z on the keyboard, and I'm going to pull it down just a smidge, and you can see that's already looking like the lid to a big gulp. I'm going to hit S for size and pull it into the big gulp a little bit like that, and that looks about right. Maybe I'll hit S again and pull it out just a smidge. I'm probably going to add, for this duplicate, I will add a solidify, and that'll take care of that little wedge right there. Now that's going to solidify the whole object, and that's going to be okay because I'm only going to keep it at a very, very small level. So when I go up to the top and hit 3 on the keyboard, I'm going to hit so I can select this top face here. I'm going to hit I, and that will go down like this. I'm going to hit I one more time to control the size while I'm in my subdivide. And then I'm going to hit E and go up just a smidge, and then hit E again. And that will make it so it looks like a clean straw once I'm up here. Now, I think I'm going to stop right about here, and then see, I leave this tiny little bit of space so that way the straw keeps its size that I like. Now that I have the straw up here, I'm going to hit I to enclose it just a smidge, just a tiny wedge, because there's already a subdivide. It doesn't need to be subdivide and the solidify. And the solidify is making it thicker, so I don't need to leave very much space, because it's going to be 1.01 thicker on both sides, the inside and the out. So when I hit E and Z to extrude on the Z axis, well, I messed it up for some reason. Okay. Control Z to undo to make sure, and I select it to make sure that I didn't make any duplicates. Now I'm going to hit E and Z to go down. And I'm going to go down. Oh, you know what? I'm going to hit once right here to make sure it's a nice clean extrude first. That's pretty key, and I almost forgot it. And that just makes sure that it looks smooth while it's up here, and it doesn't take a weird shape the way it does when you subdivide um, and pull out an object. Now I'm going to go past the cup, and then I'm going to hit E one more time in the area that you currently can't see, and then Z again and pull it down just a smidge, and I'm going to hit the X-ray, and you can kind of see why I did that, and it creates the shape. And now that I'm in the X-ray, you can kind of see why the cup is the current shape that it is, and this is actually a cheat. So if you were actually going to put a UV on wrap on this cup, it would actually look incorrect, and this wouldn't work. This only works for like a single color image cup, which is great for us right now because that's what I'm doing. Now that I have that straw created, I'm going to select it from up here and also hold shift and select it from down there. I'm going to go over to this material, create 2 new materials, assign this. I'm going to assign this new material to the straw, make sure it's white all the way. Turn the alpha down, transmission up, kind of make it see-through. I think it's because I'm in cycles that should work automatically. Yeah. And now I can select all of this. There was a faster way to do that, but I didn't do that. Now I'm going to go down to this new material down here, because I know this first material is being shared currently by the cup. So I want to create brand new materials and call this lid. It's always a good habit to label all the materials that you create and also the objects, and I haven't really done that for this project. But just so you know, you'll easily lose this stuff as soon as you create it and move on to something else. If this is an asset that you want to come back and use, it will easily get lost as soon as you put it into your project. So you're going to want to label all this stuff. Now that I lost train of thought, here we go. Okay, yeah. Assign the lid. Let's make the lid like a blue. Sure, why not? Make it look kind of metallic and very see-through as well. Even more see-through. See that this issue right here? That happens because of the subdivide, and that is easily fixable if you want to go into another tutorial for that. But for this tutorial, I think that this very basic looking cup doesn't really require anything more than what I've done. I'm going to create another material for the cup itself, hit tab, and A to assign everything to this material. Boom, and that is done. So now when I have this brand new material, it won't affect anything that has already been done, and so I can have a clean looking cup on the top. And this would be perfect for a background cup. You can even hit this S and Z and elongate it, and I think that looks better. And now it's the appropriate size. Just hitting S, hit G and up. Set origin to geometry is probably your best bet for this item. I would do the same thing for this. And that is a basic cup created in Blender. And it was in less than 10 minutes. So now you got a cup, and you're going to add it to your basic list of assets. Remember, if you added a material that you do want to go in and add your external data, and that's easily done inside of Blender. So if you want to check out more tutorials, keep learning on the Erply YouTube station and erply.com. Thanks for subscribing and liking this video, and I will see you in the next tutorial for the Blender, and I am out of the here.